that I made by taking phrases from JG Ballard's work and searching for them on the internet and collaging the results. I thought very appropriate given Ballard's interest in technologies. It's going to be a few of these. No traffic moved along the expressway. Traffic on the expressway was bumper to bumper. The number of vehicles heading south had begun to increase. Sometimes highway traffic jams up for no apparent reason. The acceleration lane is for accelerating and moving into traffic. There is a median strip or barrier between opposing lanes. Motorists are advised to tune in to local radio channels. Satellite technology tracks traffic along all routes. Utah Highway Patrol does not have a centralised database of citation. There are no traffic lights for almost 30 kilometres. It's like a giant steel river. I wandered back to the bullet-riddled wheelhouse. Misato's eyes fluttered open. Her legs and back tingled numbly. The building was without doors or windows. The guard crumpled to the floor with a bullet hole in his back. The trio walked to a wooden hatch leading into the belly of the great ship. The girl swung her legs out of the car and walked across the lot. Vladimir Ilyich was sitting at a desk on a wooden chair. There was a hole in the ground, some buckets and a makeshift ladder. Lucas stuck his head out of the wheelhouse. Pitt casually walked back into the cabin. Jesse nodded agreement. Furious, I went back to Kfar Hanasi. I waded in the silvery water. Loving Creek comes in from the north here and the water gets deeper. On the left is the smaller and muddy pond. The water this time of year is shallow. Guyan saw me standing to my ankles in the water and loudly urged me to come in. When I waded in, my first realization was that the water was not cold. The amber-tinted water streamed in among some boulders. It inspires a sense of reverence, awe and respect. We met at the frog pond and watched the tourists take their shoes off. When fly fishing in the spring or high water, more robust rods are essential. With a great effort, I cast out this heavy weight. We drove westwards towards the airport. After a long sleep, we ordered a cab which took us from the hotel. Escaping Vienna was busy and complicated. We drove through thick fog to get to Stansted Airport. Through heavy rains, we drove westward to the town of Ganesa. We drove to the outer suburbs of Casablanca, where we had lunch. Anne recognised the names of several old towns. The four couples arrived independently. We went to Freddy's restaurant. We drove along the lower Corniche towards Marbella, past the beach bars. We drove past the end of the tarmac fence line and kept going. Dropping into the drain chamber, I pulled aside one of the rusty plates. Pulling into his carport, Beaufort cursed himself for letting an eyewitness escape. There were glass jars of all hues, rough furniture and rusted pots. The flames started to lick the nearby wooden building. A faucet jutted out from the side of the shed at the end of a rusty pipe. A washer and dryer rested next to the broken water heater. There was no colour, everything was drained of brightness. Bain tossed the blaster aside and tore the door off its hinges. With a snap of his lapels, the warden left the execution chamber. The boy would lick the honey from his fingers. The last one, they moved from apartment to apartment. Anna found work as a sleep-in domestic servant. Mondays were spent over the scrub board, arms deep in scalding water. Nathan isolated himself more and more from the rest of the family. Satpal worked hard to learn English and found a job in a knitting factory. The children were reunited with their mother in Manhattan. Pumpkin grew into a muscular 15-pound panther of a cat. Durant recalled his youth when his mother Wanda struggled to feed him. Gloria gave LeBron a mini hoop and ball when he was an infant. Much of this upbringing is reflected in the glass menagerie. Thank you.